I asked you guys to send me your setups, and you really came through. You came through so hard that I'm going to have to extend it past Instagram and make it into a YouTube video like this. So keeping in mind that this is my first actual YouTube video, let's jump right in because this is actually pretty wild. Right off the bat, we have a setup that looks simple at first glance until you notice the giant stream of light coming right onto the monitor. If this were my setup, I'd be pissed off about that. Other than that, it's not too bad, and the Sprite can on the left side is making it even better, so... Oh god, this is like straight out of the back rooms. Pretty sure that's like the exact color too. I guess it's one thing if you don't mind, but I feel like I'd get a headache playing in here. I also love how the one decoration you choose to put on the wall is just a giant sword. Paint the walls a different color and maybe get a new light bulb and you'll be fine. Here's an interesting one. So this guy's living in his attic, clearly, because that is not enough headspace to stand up. The desk is large, but if you look in the middle, it's kind of bending inwards, so you might want to check that out before everything collapses. As far as actual builds, your monitors aren't too bad, and you gave yourself enough mouse space, so I'm pretty happy about that. I also love the random couch piece that's just sitting off to the side. Like, what's that there for? Of course, right here we have our first man of culture. A person with a wallpaper like this is clearly going far in life. And that's not even mentioning the amount of plushies and rubber ducks this person has. I mean, look at that. That's sick. Not one, but two whoopers stuffed into the shelf. I also love this little dude. He's just chilling up here. Not a bad setup though. Actually kind of good. I love the angle of this picture because not only does it not show the entire desk, it also doesn't even show the full PC. Were you just trying to show off your wall? Anyway, none of that actually matters because the funny little plush in the middle of the desk makes it perfect. I can already smell this setup because if you look in the middle, there's just an ashtray. I mean, this setup just emanates midlife crisis, especially with the random stack of books and papers in the back. Besides the books, it's really not a terrible setup, just stop smoking, bro. Ah, the classic playing Minecraft in school setup. I can't say I've never done this before because I think everybody in this generation has. Honestly though, this isn't even bad for a setup you made in school. You got your basic laptop and mouse, and that's really all you need. The lack of a mouse pad is one thing, but if you're just playing in the library, I can't really blame you. Huge respect for playing the craft at school though. This is truly just a tragedy. So what looks like happened here is you had a shelf above your setup and it just collapsed one day. Yeah, that monitor almost looks like it's beyond repair. Where is its stand? Did it snap off? If you look at it closely, it almost looks like it's caving in the back. I don't really know what's going on there. If this setup was intact, I'd probably rate it pretty high. The desk is simple and clean. It just kind of got a huge shelf falling down on it. Hopefully you're able to fix this one because I actually see potential. Alright, well this is the second attic setup, and it's even worse than the last one. You just have a TV sitting on top of a dresser that has two drawers missing. What happened to the drawers and why are they gone? Aside from the fact that there's just random stuff all over the floor, including what looks to be like pre-workout and a random decrepit plastic bag, the TV looks like it's about to just flop over and destroy itself. There's enough tragedies in this video as it is, we don't need another one. I also love the placement of the random kitchen chair just sitting in the middle of the carpet close to the TV. Is that for when you get super into it? Maybe you got killed one too many times in Fortnite and you have to sit super close to the TV so you can see your crosshair better? I don't know. The idea of the setup is fine. I mean, you have a TV facing your bed. Like, what can really go wrong with that? Just clean your room and make sure the TV's not gonna fall. Wait, what am I looking at? Did you build your PC inside of a cooler? You couldn't get a case? You just went for the cooler straight away? I mean, that's one way to do it. One thing that's unforgivable is using a notebook as a mouse pad. How are you gonna get any traction on that? I'm just gonna assume the best and say that you probably ordered your case and you really didn't want to wait to put the PC together. Even then, this is really funny. This guy even sent a second picture of him actually using it, and this one's arguably worse because not only is he using a keyboard on his lap and the mouse on the nightstand, he's also got a perfectly good chair off to the right. Also, your PC looks like it's about to create a supernova inside that case. I mean, look how blue that is. It could just be the camera, but that looks crazy. But I gotta give you respect points because you do have a banjo on the table. Next. Wow, that is really good. What catches my attention the most is the shelves on top with all the Legos. The actual setup on the desk itself is really clean too. Your monitors are not at any angle, so it looks really nice. That fish is living lavishly with a perfect cubby for it and a nice bright light. Everything's just so organized. I love it. And you're a Super Mario Galaxy enjoyer. Bonus points for that. It's the best 3D Mario platformer. If I was giving these a rating out of 10, this would definitely be a 10. This is the benchmark for a perfect setup. We have back-to-back bangers. This one also goes hard. Even though it only has one monitor, I love the way it's set up, and the color scheme is great. I see you're a Doom enjoyer as well as a Berserk enjoyer, so that's bonus points. And there's no wire clutter, so honestly, I don't see a single thing wrong with this one. Now, normally I'd say a second monitor for a gaming setup is kind of a must-have, but this looks like it does fine without it. Really good job with this one. So is having your walls look like the back rooms an aesthetic? Because I'm not understanding why there's multiple entries that look like this. It's like race car yellow. Anyway, that aside, the setup itself doesn't look too bad. I don't know why you took a picture of your whole room. You could have just shown the setup. The PC looks really cool, although I'd say elevate it a little bit off the ground so you're not sucking in dust. Trust me, I made that mistake. And you have one of those desks where the whole desk is one big mouse pad, so that's a big W too. Nice chair, nice monitor setup, the microphone's not too in the way. Honestly, not too bad. Shame on whoever painted those walls though. They're killing the vibe of your setup, man. Okay, well, it's not bad. It's just cluttered, and you have a pillow on your chair. I mean, as someone who used to do that because of CSGO, I can completely understand. I'm not the tallest either. The Friday Night Funkin' poster's a bit of an interesting choice, but other than that, I'm not disliking the wall art. Also, you have such a big desk, but your mouse pad is still hanging off the side. Maybe it's just me, but I really need a lot of mouse space when I play. I'm not sure how some of you are just getting away with those tiny mouse pads. This setup's pretty mid. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's not like crazy appealing either. You'd be surprised how big of a difference cleaning up makes. This one's not bad either. I like the figurines on the top. The one thing that's weird to me is why are your monitors so far apart from each other? I guess it's personal preference, but personally I like it more when my stuff is close together. It makes it easier when going from one monitor to the other. Also, if you look closely, it kind of looks like this guy lost internet right before he took the picture. I guess if you're sending pictures of your setup like I asked, you probably had nothing better to do anyway, so this one's solid. I really don't have too many complaints besides maybe put your monitors closer. There we go. You know, the setup isn't too crazy, but the wallpaper really makes it for me. Again though, small mouse pad. You have so much desk space here. Utilize it. Something that's also worrying me is you have a carpet and I don't see your PC elevated, so if your PC's on the floor, you really should move it. Leaving your PC on a carpet is the fastest way to make it look like this. Somebody actually sent me this picture. I could not believe it at first, but someone actually went out of their way to pour Chinese food all over their setup. I imagine the thought process kind of went something like... Anyway, I'm sure the cleanup was fun. I hope you had a great time doing that. Oh no, imagine you're just playing games and then all of a sudden... This looks like it was a really good setup too. I feel genuinely bad for you. But at least it made for a funny picture, and at least you're in this video now, so it's the small victories that count. And it looks like everything lived, so that's a good sign. Now this is the ideal broke college student setup. I love everything here, including... I also just realized that's not even your background, that's just an image you pulled up. You're probably like, oh, honeynut wants a picture of my setup. What's the funniest thing I can pull up on my screen? And honestly, you nailed it. It's not bad for a makeshift setup, and it kind of looks right at home. Especially with... Next! Wait, this is drip as hell. Like, it's a small desk space, but you're using it really well. I think I see a drawing tablet. Also, the speakers are really cool. You have a small space, but you used it really well, so that's pretty good. Obviously, I'm including this one because of the cat, but the setup isn't even that bad. I like the white aesthetic your PC build has, along with the keyboard. But let's be honest, the cat is the main attraction, so yeah. Very nice cat, 10 out of 10. Okay, well, I thought the funny stuff was over, but we have a lawn chair in this build. Not even just that, but you have the Walmart table. Also, do you live in a closet? Like, this is the smallest room I've ever seen. Most college dorm rooms are bigger than this. And the Wii U gamepad just tops it all off. Really shows exactly how old this build is. Okay, I mean... This is a very clean build. The wires could use a little bit of managing, but I don't see anything wrong other than that. Also, you can tell this guy cleaned his desk off for the picture because all the stuff is just sitting on his bed. At least get it out of the frame, man. Very cool though, very clean, I like it. This one might take the cake for me. It's really battling with the one with the Legos. I love this aesthetic. Everything's really neat, there's no wires, and the mushroom aesthetic goes hard. Definitely one of the prettier ones, even though simplistic. I really like this. You see, this is what I was waiting for. This right here is the ideal setup. You simply cannot top it. The Philips air fryer is one of the best devices a human being can have. If you don't understand why, then you've simply never owned an air fryer. I think I gotta say, out of everything I reviewed today, this has gotta be the best one and a perfect note to end on.